Awesome. So I'm just been told that we have 10 minutes. How time flies? We have 10 more minutes. And before, so we still need to talk about system and tools and user research. So we're getting into the nitty gritty of it now. Because you've mentioned a lot of what will I say, ads and different ways to, run your ads. But let's talk about the key metrics that you use to understand your growth. Now, talking to you and giving us practical lessons and solutions. So what are the key metrics to use, and what system, and let's take it one at a time. What are the key metrics you use to track and understand your growth?
Okay. Key metrics, I'm just going to, off the top of my head, list a lot of the ones that I paid attention to, and, we can take it from there. So you need to know your revenue, right? No brainer. You need to know your revenue, but you also need to know which one of your products are bringing in the most revenue. Word for that, we can just call that best-selling products, right? You need to know which one of your products are impacting your revenue the most. You also need to know which channels have the most growth potential. But that's, I think before that, you can say which channels are currently bringing in most revenue and which ones have the most growth potential, because it may not be the same thing. You might be having a lot of revenue coming in from Instagram, but you realize that, there's so much potential for Google Ads to bring in revenue for you, right? And that was something I paid attention to. I already shared that in practical terms earlier. You also need to pay attention to your cost per lead and cost per acquisition. There are two different things. Cost per lead is how much does it cost one person to say, hello, Kieva, I noticed you sell engagement rings. How much does it cost? That's a lead, someone who is contacting you, right? But cost per acquisition is how, someone who pays you money. And, we're going to talk about the tools, but one simple way for me was just look at my Facebook analytics dashboard on my Google. I had to understand that dashboard because it just made it super easy for me. If you're a digital business, it's very easy. I also paid attention to the lifetime value of each client. This is important for you, especially when you have returning clients. So you want to know this client, for each of the clients. So you need to have like a sheet, right? And for this client, how much have they spent with me in the past 12 months? And that will let you know which clients you probably want to love upon the most or send New Year gifts, stuff like that. You need to know your total annual recurring revenue. So how much did I make this year? How much did I make, 2019, 2010? So you can just compare and have a graph to understand what's really going on with your numbers. You need to know your active users. You need to know, what's it called now? Retention rate versus churn rate. So retention rate is, I have 10 customers, 8 of them stayed. That's retention rate. I have 10 customers, 2 of them left. That's churn rate. Do you see? So they're sort of like measuring similar things. Yeah. So those are the key metrics, Faith. I hope that I explained that well, even though we're trying to like really breeze through because we have little time left.
For maybe another one where you break it down. But in the meantime, I mean, you have spoken about the key metrics. So does this differ from systems and tools that you might have used to run growth experiments in the early stages as opposed to what you use now?
Yes, it does, in a manner of speaking. So growth experiments would mean that you want to track something, just one thing in particular, and see how it impacts everything else. So, for example, let's say you're running Facebook ads. You want to see, am I getting more traffic from Abuja or from Lagos? Or you even like, so your growth experiment can be to see audience or geography. If I put more money focusing on this area, how will it impact the business overall? So it usually means that you have to do a bit of testing. And as much as possible, you want to test just one thing so that you can see how it impacted the business. In terms of systems and tools, I already mentioned Facebook ads. See, you guys, we're talking digital business, so it's just pretty easy. If you're running ads, that is your system, that is your tool. So for me, I was using two things. I was using Shopify. I built my website on Shopify. I didn't use WordPress. And so Shopify was telling me this is your conversion rate. So Shopify was telling me my traffic. 200 people visited your website this month or visited your website today. And this is your conversion rate, 5%, 2%, stuff like that. So I could see all of that. And so it was also able to help me, set new goals. We were able to say, oh, we're getting, I think right now, or at some point, we're getting like 200 visitors in a day. And we're like, oh, we want to be able to get 1,000 visitors to the website in a day. Do you see? So Shopify had a dashboard that was helping me Facebook ads at the dashboard that was helping me. It wasn't difficult at all. And then on the side, I also had a sheet that I created on Airtable. You can use Google Sheets or an Excel sheet for that my team, my sales team would always enter certain information. So we could also keep track of everything else that these platforms couldn't capture.
Thank you so much. I mean, I can see all the comments coming in. You are really giving us, a lot of fantastic points. So I wanted to also find out, we were talking about growth experiments. Would you say that how often do you do those? Is this something that needs to be done a lot of times, or is it something that maybe once every 6 months? What would you say about the timing between growth experiments?
I'll say it differs per business. What the bigger question is, what do you aim to achieve? What are you trying to achieve? So what will trigger a growth experiment is that you want something to change. You want to make more income, or you want to see, you just want to know, like, where am I really getting this result? What will happen if I change X, Y, Z? However, that said, I've already said it depends on what you want to achieve, the results you want to see. That said, it also helps to, at the very least, you should do a good experiment once a year, at the very least, because I would assume that everybody does like business analysis. Everybody's doing New Year resolution, right? For us, we actually do like quarterly, we have quarterly goals. So every quarter, there's something we're chasing after, and we're reappraising every quarter. But at the very least, once a year.